Hello, it's Boss Blades here, and we spent the past couple weeks obtaining every single Tau card. Absolutely love the Tau, so I figured I would do a video here, basically going over what I think of the legendary cards for the Tau. So we'll just go in order. We have Shadowsun. Shadowsun has 40 health, and it's 2/2 as a warlord, and your ability is you can either pay 1 to give marker light 1 to a troop, or +1 range attack to a friendly unit. So one very notable thing is you can then hit for 3, taking out enemy drones. Drones being a very popular deck right now on the ladder, and just anything else that has 3. So it does let you be a little bit aggressive. You do have that 5 health buff over some of the other heroes, unless they're also 40 health. And the marker light could allow you to chunk things that have armor pretty well. Shadowsun also gets very good with a coordinated assault, I think it is. It's like a 3-cost card that gives a card marker light 3, but if it has marker light, you just straight up destroy the troop. So Shadowsun, since it can marker light stuff, can combine with the ability with coordinated whatever to be a 4-mana removal spell, which is probably one of the main reasons to actually run with Shadowsun here. Then we of course have For the Greater Good, card that I and a lot of people have very heavily misevaluated, and every time you look at it you realize, wait, it does actually do something a little better. It's a 2-cost stratagem that gives Vanguard and Armor 3 to a friendly unit until your next turn. So there's 3 main uses for it. 1, you can utilize the Armor 3 to make it so that a unit is able to take out something without probably dying, because you can do full damage and take 3 less. A lot of the time that means you can chunk and only take 1 damage on your attack. You can use it to Vanguard something to maintain long range on your other units. You can also use it on your Warlord, because it does say friendly unit, not friendly troop, and that allows you to decrease the overall amount of damage that you take in a turn. You can also use it to protect your board if your opponent is not going to deploy an AoE. If they only have like attacks going on, they'll only be able to hit your Warlord and anything else you have with Vanguard. And we have a stealth build that we have that utilizes For the Greater Good very well, because you almost always Vanguard your Warlord and protect your units with stealth to get in another range of attacks. Then we have Darkstrider. I believe Darkstrider to be the strongest legendary. By the way, For the Greater Good, I do believe to be one of the lowest priority crafts. But Darkstrider is easily, I think, the most important craft for the entirety of the Tau. It is a 3/3/3 for 3 and has stealth. Its rally gives stealth to your adjacent drones, so you can use that to give stealth an extra turn on stealth drones so they can stealth something else as well. But the real benefit to Darkstrider, why I think you should play it in every single build, is it gives you the talent Structural Analyzer. For 2 energy, you give a marker light 2 to an enemy. Not a troop, an enemy. So you can give it to your enemy's Warlord, and they'll have marker light 2, which is very powerful. If you're able to stack multiples of this, your opponent will be taking an additional 4 damage every time you ranged attack their Warlord for that turn. And since it does have stealth, unless your opponent uses non-targeting effects, you're almost going to be guaranteed to get at least 1 Structural Analyzer off. Very strong card. Emergency Dispensation is a 3-cost stratagem. You choose a troop in your deck, you draw it, and lower its cost by 3. It is very good. Like, if you draw it early, a lot of games could just be won very easily at a much earlier turn. Because, sure, it costs 3 and gives you no tempo loss because it lowers a troop by 3, but you can play it turn 3, and then you can play, like, aun'shi or Piranha. We'll get to aun'shi, but he makes your troops cost less, so he gives you even more tempo gain. And you could also use it to get another one of the legendaries here, longstrike, to make it only cost 5, which is insane. So very strong effect for the 3 mana. It may potentially get nerfed because it is extremely efficient, and sure, there is a Eldari card that is something similar, but 3 cost reduction versus 2 cost reduction and eating a Waystone, this is insane. Experimental Drones, very annoying card. It is a legendary stratagem for 4 cost that says, for the rest of this battle, you give shield to all drones you deploy. So if you were to use like the Saber protocols, which reduces cost of drones by 1 for the rest of the game, then experimental drones turn 4. Sure, you take a minimal tempo loss right now, but all your drones then would cost 1 less and get shield, which experimental drones is very powerful with Mayo because you can play Vanguard drones that then get shield, or gun drones and have them shield, making it so that things that can only attack into them will have to do it twice, and you know, you get that extra layer versus AoE and damage based effects. So very strong for drone centric builds, not particularly good for the battle suit builds. Then we have Honored Ethereal. It is a 5/3 with 5 health. It costs 4 and it has shield. It says adjacent troops have Vanguard, so you can basically build up a wall of Vanguard units, things that don't normally have Vanguard with this, which is very strong. It does have the shield, so it does absorb all damage 1 time. And then it gives you the talent Serene Unifier, which a couple things do. I think aun'shi does, the ethereal, and it is the card that you get from Anva. So Serene Unifier says you choose an invocation and put it in your hand. It costs 1 less. The invocations are a 1 cost spell that would be reduced to 0 that gives a unit a shield, a 2 cost spell that would be reduced to 1 that gives all of your troops armor 1, and a 3 cost spell that would be reduced to 2 that gives all of your units +2 range. So on an ethereal, if every turn of the lasts, you can Serene Unifier and stack either armor onto your board, give something a shield so you can get free swings, or get a win condition added to hand. So he does do a lot of cool stuff. I also like he's good. Like, he's not like priority, you must have this like darkstrider, but he's still very strong, and having the shield definitely is good for like trading. The Vanguard thing could either mess you up or be really good too. Then we have aun'shi. aun'shi I think is obscenely good. Like, I think he's the best thing to get off emergency dispensation, because it just feels like your opponent's just going to be super low in tempo. If you go turn 3 emergency dispensation, turn 4 aun'shi, turn 5 drop a hand. But he is a 6 cost, 6/4, 7 health, and has shield. So it's very tough to take out unless you use a straight up destroy effect on him. He just says straight up, your troops cost 1 less, which is insane. That means your battle suits will cost 1 less, your pathfinders will cost 1 less. You can actually pathfinder and play the 2 drones for just 3 mana. If you have a piranha, you can do it for just 1 mana for the pathfinder. You could even piranha, drop all their drones, then pathfinder, drop all their drones, and it would only cost you 4. And then it also has the talent Serene Unifier on top of that, so you can potentially Serene Unifier, drop a bunch of stuff, give them all armor, and then only Will of Gork would basically be able to clear you, and finish off with some Storms of Rage, which is the give +2 range. And lastly, but definitely not least, we have Longstrike. Longstrike is an 8 cost, 4/7 with 8 health. It has long range. It'd be weird if it didn't, but it is actually one of the very few flank units that the Tau Empire has. And long range plus flank, let me tell you, is really strong. It means that you will instantly be able to kill anything just from swinging with Longstrike that has 7 health or less, and not take retaliatory damage from that attack. But Longstrike also has a rally. It gives Marker Light 5 to an enemy troop. So you could potentially take something out that has 7 health or less, Marker Lighting 5 something else, that lets one of your shielded or otherwise units deal an extra 5 damage to that, or be able to chunk through something that has like high amounts of armor. Of course, you can also take something out that with the Marker Light 5 and the Longstrike that has 12 health or less, and just about the only thing other than crazy stacked chaos units is Monolith is the only thing that would survive a marker light 5 longstrike hit, and it would survive with 1 health. So longstrike is very powerful and a very strong unit, and definitely a good card to craft. That is all of the legendary cards that the Tau have, and if I were to rank them, I would consider Darkstrider to be number 1, and for the greater good, probably the weakest in terms of crafts, but to be fair, it's still really good. So it's like they go from like a 5.0, 5 out of 5 to like a 3.5. Like they don't have any like legendaries that are just like, why would I play this? You potentially could just play all of them in almost any deck, except for like not play experimental drones in a deck that isn't based around drones, obviously. So that's gonna do it for this video. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a like. If you want to see more of this stuff, go ahead and give my channel a subscribe. And peace.